Good evening. It's lovely to see you all again. Forgive me, my throat has kind of been giving out throughout the day, so if I don't sound like my normal self, that's why. Okay, well, let's move on. How did the day go? Went pretty productive, all things considered. You see, I was woken up by my mom at around 7 o'clock. She wanted me to come with her to the nearest hardware store because she was crafting a large project where she needed a whole lot of cement and a whole lot of wood beams, and someone helped her carry it around. And of course, I was more than happy to oblige. So I realized that my car was parked behind her, so I immediately went into my car and parked on the side of the road. So that way we'd be ready to go in her car. Which we did. We eventually arrived, and when we got there, my mom wanted me to get one of those wheeling large thingies that you could put big items on. Kind of looks like a paddle with like hoops in it, or a board with hoops in it. You know, that thing. So we looked far and wide. We found 3 different types of wood. We settled on 3 of the same sizes for one and 3 of the same sizes for another. Wait, no. It was 4 for one and 3 for another, I believe. I think so. We got some brackets metal brackets to screw on, and some cement. We went to the side of the building and we asked one of the workers there, is it all right if we leave our material here so we could come back to pick it up through a rented truck? The worker said yes, but as long as it didn't go past the gate. We looked past and we didn't really understand what that meant because the gate wasn't that long anyways. So we asked if we could just leave it there for now, and they said, sure, we'll keep an eye on it. So we went over, and my mom signed up to rent a truck. And this was the first time she'd ever rented a truck at a hardware store. At least to my knowledge. They went through this very intensive process. It was kind of weird how they wanted her identity and all that stuff. A little too intrusive, if you ask me. Why do you need all that stuff when you just want to, rent a truck? I guess maybe it's too much of a liability, and you need to ensure that the person who is driving it is, that has a driver's license, I guess. I'm unsure. But the lady gave us the key and we went over. And my mom was completely unused to how the truck operated. She didn't know how to start it or how to get it, uninitiate the brake. And the thing was, we were being charged by the hour, so time was very much of the essence. So she asked me to run over to the person at the desk and ask them what exactly to do. So I did that. I told them the issue, and we both walked out, and it turns out that my mom was using the wrong key. Apparently, there are 2 keys for the truck, one to open the door and one to actually start the car. That took her about 15 minutes to finally understand, so because we went there, kept on turning it over and over again wasn't working. I was asked to go out, ask for help, and we assessed the problem and found the solution, and that took about 15 minutes. Pretty crazy. So anyways, we drove off to the location where we left all of the material, and we rolled it over to the rented truck, and we lifted each item on there. My mom even got some red flags to put on the longer beams that were sticking up from the truck, so people knew to be wary of them. And then we were off. We eventually arrived home, and my mom wanted me to help her immediately dump all of the material out from the side of the house, so that way we wouldn't have to worry about renting the truck for too long. So we did that, and we were done, and she left, and our family friend left too. So off they went. I got sucked into YouTube Shorts. What I remember was like a guy talking about like how people in Minecraft are figuring out how to use cushions to play entire movies. It's pretty interesting. Yeah. And others that I'm forgetting right now. But anyways, my mom eventually arrived. She brought some donuts, which was a nice surprise. And she heated them for 20 seconds in the microwave, and that brought them straight to life. She even put some whipped butter, which might have been a bit overboard because they were already deep fried in fat, so having more fat on top of the fat was quite decadent, I will have to say, but the results spoke for themselves. They were very good donuts. And we had those donuts with coffee, and we watched a mini documentary from a YouTube channel called Hats Off Entertainment, where the host of the channel was talking about a movie called What About Bob and the tumultuous development behind it, and how apparently the lead stars of that movie didn't really like each other, which did make things difficult on the set, but made for a more entertaining movie overall, which was very interesting. And he gets into all kinds of details about it, which I'm not going to go to here. If you're interested, definitely check out the video on Hats Off Entertainment YouTube channel. It's definitely worth a watch if you're interested in the behind-the-scenes drama of that film, for sure. Then, after we finished half the video, we went out, and we realized we need to put the beams and things away, so that way they wouldn't be out in the front yard, so people wouldn't assume that they were free for taking. So we took the beams out into the back and laid them to rest there for now, along with the metal material. And then for the concrete, I found a roller where I slid the concrete packages on and rolled them off to the garage one by one. And me and my mom made space and put the concrete bags in there on top of concrete slabs, so we wouldn't have to worry about if there was rain, the water affecting one of the concrete bags. So works out pretty well. Then we decided, after we were done putting everything away, to continue watching the video, but that was around the time when my sister woke up. So we greeted her, she greeted us back, and my mom made sure to let her know that there was donuts for her. They were cinnamon twist bear claw donuts, by the way, if you're interested in knowing. And that got her excited. So we finished the What About about Bob video, and then my mom wanted me to work on that family album project with her for a good while, so I did. We just continued the story of my mom's grandfather, kind of narrating and going through the story beats, and as he was doing that, showing family photos of what he's talking about, while playing old-timey music. And I have to say, this is a lot of fun, seeing the whole project come together, seeing it edited, seeing just the excitement spring into the eyes of my mom and then my sister and family friend when I show them. It's a very, very exciting video. Then we were getting hungry, so my mom decided to make a teriyaki chicken stir fry, and she asked for my help with crushing the garlics and pouring oil in the pan. So I did that. And boy, let me tell you, this was some tasty teriyaki chicken with veggies too. The only thing missing was some rice. But my sister decided to get on making some noodles to go with it instead, which, honestly, noodles with teriyaki chicken and veggies is still really good. So we both decided to watch something while we eat, and lo and behold, Y-Files released a brand new video, campfire stories about unexplained disappearances. So we watched that while eating and having the last of the Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. It was a very interesting video, very well made video, and I totally dug it. 2 thumbs up for me. I'm not going to get into it because then the video would be too long. All I'm going to say is lots of 3 disappearances were covered, and their circumstances. You could see what the person was kind of thinking, or at least one of them. But 2 of them, one is seems like the person just had some mass psychosis kind of episode, and then the other person just seemed to have no warning signs of their sudden change in behavior. They just kind of decided to peace out of nowhere. So yeah. And then one person, you could kind of tell they were fed up with the stress of life and just wanted to start anew from square one all over again. So yeah, that one's pretty easy to parse, but the other 2 are very odd, especially considering that all 3, there's no definitive conclusion to any of those cases. After we were done watching that while eating our teriyaki, and our teriyaki with noodles that was provided by my sister, and teriyaki with rice, which was provided by my mom decided to put the teriyaki chicken and rice in my new container that I got from work the other day for lunch. And I was very grateful for that. It was exciting to bring that to lunch. And then it was going to be time to go to work close to it. So I started getting ready, but around that time, my mom wanted me to clean the pool vacuum and put it back in the pool. And I did that. And then after that, I did a 5-minute quick breath work session, which was very nice. And then finally, I got dressed and ready for work while I was listening to a guy talk about his mantid alien encounter, which was very interesting. If you want to hear some really bizarre stories, definitely check out the YouTube channel Mantid Encounters. It's very bizarre phenomenon of these weird mantis-like beings, for sure. I then went in my car, I drove off to work, and when I arrived at work, I punched in, I was told that one of my coworkers was not going to be at work today, so I wouldn't have a co-closer, which meant I would have to be doing most of the closing duties, or pretty much all of them, on my own. I did get a little bit of assistance from two of my coworkers who didn't leave until 7 and 8, where they took some go backs and put them back, so it wasn't completely me, but I did do quite a bit of go backs. I, bagged, sweeped, I punched sweeps in on time, checked restrooms, refilled bags, then went on my lunch break where I filled my water canteen at the nearby restaurant that allows you to do that for free. And then I bought some alive mushroom elixir that I then used to drink to help me feel a little bit better with my whole throat situation. And finally, I went upstairs and I ate that delicious teriyaki chicken rice dish while listening to a new episode of the podcast Area 52, which was a very interesting podcast. It was a lady who claimed she was from the GATE program, which is apparently a program where they screen students that the government deems as gifted or talented. And apparently, like, people say there were like alternative motives to utilizing their like brains for like more deeper thinking, or whatever. It's a very interesting program, and the episode kind of devolves into a lot of like pseudoscience, like exploring. Nothing really like feels super concrete about the video, but I guess it was something mildly entertaining to watch while I ate food. So that's a win, I guess. And the live mushroom elixir, which I got a root beer flavor, wasn't too bad either. After I was done scarfing that down, washing my plate, putting my dishes away. Oh, and apparently there was some free mini cupcakes in the break room, so I had some of those too, and they were very good. I went downstairs, I punched back in, and I finished my closing duties by taking out the rest of the trash, clearing a lot, bringing in the carts and signs, wiping all the check stands, closing the produce blinds, sweeping the floors, punching things in, all of my sweeps in, and doing the remaining go backs, or as many go backs as I possibly could. And finally, I punched out. I grabbed my container along with my notebook that I always bring with me but never seem to use. And then me and my co-manager walked out together, had a funny conversation before leaving. I went in my car, I drove home. When I arrived home, I greeted my mom and my sister, who seemed to both be watching this documentary of a guy visiting a foreign country, which looked very interesting. I then opened the fridge to see if there was anything good to eat, and what I found was some orange juice, but I asked my sister if that was hers, and she said it was. Then I remembered that we had some pineapple juice in a can, so I asked my mom if it'd be okay if I opened that. She said sure. So I opened that, put it in a container with a lid that you can, serve, drip, pour, and I had that with some ice, and it was very good. And then I took a shower. I combed my hair. I put on deodorant. I took my vitamins, I brushed my teeth, I said good night to my sister, I went into my room, and I hit the record button. And that's pretty much a rapid fire shot of the day as quickly as possible. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.